Welcome everyone to the Compliance Weekly, 8th of April 2025. Um, First of all, let's start with the milestone board walkthrough. The last discussed issue was this. The next one is on SAM, missing audit events when changing environments for a CI.
Yeah, that's what it says on the CAN. Added audit events for changing environments on CIs.
Next one is on me. GraphQL mutation to add or edit a requirement and its controls. Basically, this mutation allows users to bulk edit controls for a requirement while creation and updation. Next one is again on me. Create a new API for compliance status dashboard V2. So we created a new query for listing out all the project requirement statuses for the dashboard. Next one is on Darby GitLab security scanners control. I reviewed it, so Darby added some of the security scanners, for example, SARS, DAS, and so on, to our project fields and to our internal controls list. Next one is on me, add project search filter to compliance frameworks dashboard. So currently, the API that we create for listing down project requirement statuses, we not added filtering capability by projects, requirements, and frameworks. In this issue, we added those filters. Next one is again on me. Standard adherence check failing on first time valid change for more than 2 approvals. Because of the new dashboard, we closed this issue out. Next one is on me. Add GraphQL query for listing control statuses for project and requirement. So this is for the side drawer that we created in the UI. This basically takes input as a project and requirement and lists down all the project control statuses for that project and requirement pair. Next one is on Rene adherence templates repo. Nate?
Yeah, I can speak on this one too. I reviewed the EMR. So this is when you create a new compliance framework. Now we have two panels, one to create a blank framework and another to import a framework. And then if you create a blank one, you have the form to fill the details of the framework. And if you import, you can accept a JSON file with the details of the framework, and then it creates automatically. And after the creation, it redirects you to the edit of this framework. So if you want to edit any details or review the framework that you just imported. So yeah, so that's more or less what this does.
Thank you, Sam. Next one is on Ilya for performance improvement fetch policies when section is open.
Yeah, actually, it is just switching. Now the fetch policies in drawer are loaded only when you expand the drawer, and adding the pagine, adding it, saves one query and makes the drawer opens faster.
Next one is delete project requirement status entries in project and namespace destroy services. This is on me. So we added a check on, we added the relationship between project and project requirement statuses as on delete restrict, not on delete cascade. So in this issue, we are deleting all the project requirement status entries whenever project is deleted. Clarify compliance center export truncation. Sam.
Yes, this is a quality of life service upgrade, so to speak. We're limiting exports and most things in file size in the compliance center, and this is the first issue that tackles this. It'll give users a notification when the truncation has happened after 15 megabytes.
Next one is on Ilya. Show requirements info in frameworks export report and draw.
Basically, the title is quite self-describing. It adds the requirements information inside the frameworks table to the driver. Not much to add.
Next is export adherence report. I think Harsimar worked on it. This is for exporting all the data that is being listed down on the compliance status dashboard, the new dashboard in the CSV. And Sheldon, did you also work on this?
Yeah, so this one's I worked on, and Harsimar provided me the like the details. Yeah, so it's behind a feature flag, and it's just like on the export button. There's a new export item for the adherence report. Yeah, so this one accounted for the controller and the button itself to export, and then the export is sent by email like the other exports. So this one, there's one thing for this one in the controller, I created exports controller and also a follow-up issue so that we can migrate all the exports to this one controller and have every export to be an action instead of. So currently, all the other exports are index actions of the controller, and I think it's neater, at least in my opinion, to have like everything in one controller with custom actions. Yeah, so there's an issue for that.
Next one is on Harsimar, create a cron worker to evaluate compliance for a project. So in this, he created a cron as well as a sidekick job for evaluating the control statuses of a project for a framework, which is ultimately resulting into the requirement statuses being generated for the dashboard that we are seeing on UI. Next one is on Dakota, add controls to add or edit requirement UI. I think it basically consumes the same mutation that I created for updating and creating the compliance requirements and allow users to bulk add controls and edit them too. Next one is on me, add validations in models for namespaces and projects. So the new models that we created for project compliance requirement statuses did not had validations for correlating the associations. So this validations are adding whether to validate whether the associations match with each other or not. Next one is on SAM, remove project ID default value from project compliance framework settings table.
Yes, we had a weird table setup here where the foreign key was also an auto increment, and we removed that because that sounds like incident waiting to happen.
Next one is on Ilya, adherence report V2.
Yeah, it's a initial issue which adds the displaying on your our status report, which is now how is now called. It's basically the initial table list for this issue.
Adherence report V2 pagination.
Adding the pagination to the previous issue. So
Next one is on Rene. Update the framework service to add or remove projects.
This is the I think I reviewed that one. This is the review the UI, so you can add a project directly when creating and editing frameworks.
Next one is on Ilya. Enhance report V2 filtering.
adding like this is a bunch of issues which add, and this one adds filtering to the report we've recently added.
Next one is on me. Deletion of project control statuses and requirement status object update. So basically, when there is a duplicate issue that I created, and this is being handled in another issue for refreshing the requirement status whenever a control is deleted. The next one is on me, add association between compliance, control status, and requirement status. So I added a new column for establishing an association between control statuses and requirement statuses. Next one is on Ilya, ensure proper handling of missing GraphQL endpoints during same version release of backend and frontend for new report.
Yeah, formally, our GraphQL policy still prohibits us to releasing backend and frontend for GraphQL related stuff in the same milestone. And this is that we somehow work around it, making sure that we can present a proper message to our customers if they caught our report, which uses new GraphQL in the middle of the fleet update, when, for example, new front end is querying the old backend, which might happen for big customers' installations spanning multiple servers.
Next one is on Ilya. Details.
Yeah. And last but not least is the details drawer to the new report, which allows us to see the detailed information about status checks, which failed, how to fix them, etc., etc.
Next one is on Rene, upload framework UI.
I reviewed this one. Yeah, it's added UI, so you can start either with the blank framework or upload one in JSON format.
Okay. Anything else that needs to be discussed?
I just want to call out that's probably the longest list of closed issues in 1 week I've ever seen. Absolutely amazing.
More to come.
Call us the closers.
Far out. That's
I think we also skipped weekly last week though. But still.
Now moving to planning issue. First one is on me and Ilya, custom compliance frameworks. Is this the correct one that I opened?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. So most of the P1 tasks are completed. One of them is in review, and the other one is in dev. Other than that, everyone is closed. Issues are under verification or closed already. So yeah, we are almost finished, close to the finish. Ilya?
Yeah, from trend perspective, it is also close to the finish. We still probably need a round of good UX review to make it even more exciting, but it should be fully functional already and bring a lot of value to the table.
Next one is on Zephyr, external custom controls. Nate?
Yes. Yeah, well, I'm just we found one issue in the final, one bug in the final issue for this whole epic. It's been tested though, and there's a demo out. I'll share that with the team in Slack tomorrow, hopefully. But there was a MR merged a couple of hours ago that fixes that, so I just need to validate that, and then we can close that whole epic as done and released.
Next one is on Andrew, adding key OTB controls for most requested compliance frameworks.
I can give an update there as well. There's about 20 odd controls being added already. The scanners have all been added. Andrew merged an MR to make it easier to add controls. And there is 3 open merge requests with about 15 to 20 controls each for SOC 2, GitLab CIS benchmark, and inventory control standards, I believe. So that's looking on track.
Next one is on SAM, toggle for custom compliance frameworks rollout.
Yeah, that one's already closed. It's all done.
Nate, provide an option to add projects in the compliance framework creation workflow.
Yeah, the basic adding of projects is currently in, but there's pagination and filtering. I think pagination has just been merged, and then filtering as well is coming shortly. So that's looking on track, at least for the major bits of functionality for that. And the import export has been closed. That's all done, as you saw in the issues.
Next one is on me, consolidation of tables for streaming audit events. I was not able to much get details on this, but as far as I know, many of the migrations are already, migration MRs are already merged for this. I think 1 or 2 is pending, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I reviewed, I think, 2 of the ones that Andrew did, at least. So at least 2 should be on their way. Next one is on me as well. There was 1 metric added since the last call, I think, and yeah, more still to come.
Nick, should we discuss the release post blockers? Because I think this will be the final weekly of the milestone.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The first one is for update all streams to provide the same filters.
So I guess this one will be on Sheldon. I know you're working on the front end for this. How do you feel like with us having what 3, 4, 5 days left to get it in?
Yeah, so this one, there's 2 relatively big MRs in review. Well, one is in review, the other is awaiting. So I'm not expecting for both of them to be reviewed, to be merged this, like one of them might be merged this week and then the other next week.
Okay.
And then once those 2 are done, then we can turn on the feature flag.
Okay. So we'll push that one out.
Next one is for compliance center enhancement display and filter archive projects and compliance projects report.
That's already been pushed to 18.0.
And next one is for custom compliance frameworks.
Yep. Let's look at turning on the feature flag tomorrow.
Release post for provide an option to add projects in the compliance creation workflow.
Yeah, so this one, like I mentioned, the core bit of functionalities there, just waiting on pagination and filtering, and some of the other quality of life stuff there. So it's on the fence whether it will make it this milestone or not.
I think pagination was already on its way. It's just filtering, but I'm not 100% sure. I remember reviewing pagination already a couple days ago.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of pagination and filtering merge requests and issues, so I'm getting very confused.
No design and queue update. Anything that needs to be discussed here? Okay. Thanks everyone for joining the weekly. We're to the time.